Someone needs a nap. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Ah, shit! Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, Goo Said anthem. Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, Goo Said anthem. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of He Said, Goo Said. I'm Marty and this is my co-host Henry. It's also my son. What are you looking at? Anyway, we're back. I still haven't picked a movie, so we're just going to go to another book because I had a recommendation from my sister-in-law Julia, and this one is called Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Clement Hurd. Now, there's not a whole lot to Goodnight Moon. It's basically about a couple of bunnies living in this weird house, and they have some cats. The mama bunny is just rocking in her chair saying hush, 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 and the little bunny boy is going to bed, and he says goodnight to everything in the room, and then he says goodnight to the moon. So when I heard the title of this book, I thought, oh, this is going to be a cute book from like the last 10 or 20 years and like a little boy going to bed or something and saying goodnight to everything in the room. It's sort of like that, but the book actually came out in the 40s, so it's a little unusual. I'm going to read a few passages to Henry so you get the idea. In the great green room there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. I'm going to talk about some of the things I like about this book. For one thing, it reads very well. I like the rhymes. I like the mouse character. There's like these cute little details of like the mouse sitting in front of the fireplace. It's like I've never seen a mouse like really enjoy a fire. I mean, that's a nice touch. And you can also play a game with your son or your daughter, you know, like, oh, can you find the mouse on this page? Like, just to keep things interesting. And fantastic title, Goodnight Moon. Wonderful. And I'll be up front. I don't like this book. It creeps me out. First of all, the color palette is weird and loud. The house looks like, this room looks like a crime scene. It's just missing the chalk outlines of the bodies. For some inexplicable reason, the book goes to black and white. It's like, what? Is this like a memory, or is this like ghosts from the past? Like, what are we saying? Is this a flashback? Like, I have no idea what's going on, and then it goes back to color. Why do these bunnies have pet cats? And check this out, look at this. On this page, the little bunny is holding his knees and rocking himself in the bed. He's terrified. He doesn't want to be in this room with his grandma rabbit. Why are they living in a house? There's a balloon just floating in the room. Like, is this an invitation for it to show up? Goodnight mush. What is mush anyway? Is that just like shitty oatmeal? Is it the same thing as gruel? They just had horrible meals back then. Like, oh, we have some leftover mush and a glass full of grape nuts. All right, gonna clock in at the asbestos factory. And then we get to this page, it totally derails the entire book with this passage. Good night, nobody. Really? Good night, nobody? Say, what are you wasting our time for? Say good night to something. Good night, toaster oven. You know, the book's called Goodnight Moon, so you think, oh, naturally, the book is going to end on Goodnight Moon. And it'll be like a really sweet way to end it. No. Good night, noises everywhere. And then there's a little nice bow to wrap around your nightmares. So like this place is genuinely haunted. Like the dollhouse is lit up and the grandma's gone. I didn't even notice that until now. The grandma's gone. The cats are in her chair. The fire's still going. This is a creepy ass book. I'm sorry, I'm yelling, buddy. So I can't recommend Goodnight Moon, neither can Henry. Both hated it. It's scary. It gives me a really uneasy feeling with the black and white pictures. Oh, that actually makes sense. I just put it together. This is like the Sixth Sense. The grandma was dead the whole time. That's why she doesn't show up at the end. She disappears. Oh, now I'm starting to get this book, and maybe I like it a little more now. It was a whodunit all along. It was a who's dead. Oh no! All right, Margaret Wise Brown. I appreciate you writing a children's book, but you've upset my son. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Something reassuring for Henry, and let your friends know that we have a show, and Goodnight Moon is not a good book for anyone. Okay, goodbye.